Hey guys, it's time for more PBR, as pretty much always. So now I am using my Uber Pass, and yeah, this guy, I have no idea what that language is. So they have a Glaceon, a Flareon, a Crobat, a Golem, a Gallade, and a Leafeon. I'm glad they didn't bring the Leafeon because I really dislike Leafeon a lot. So, yeah. There's not really a whole ton to say about the selection screen. There's not really ever a whole ton to say about any selection screen, unless it's like full eradicates or something like that. So anyway, this is the third time in a row I've been to the Crystal Coliseum, so that was kind of weird. So anyway, I start out with Entei and Rayquaza, and they start out with a Golem and their Crobat. Now, my Entei is a special attacker, and the only reason why he's a special attacker is when I got him off the GTS, he had a bold nature, and that decreases physical attack and increases physical defense. So, special attacker. So anyway, I go for a Dragon Dance, I go for Extrasensory on Crobat, and then I go for Dragon Dance with Rayquaza. And I was really expecting Hypnosis, but I was really glad that they used Confuse Ray instead, because, then I still have a chance to attack. So anyway, Extrasensory does quite a lot to Crobat. It doesn't quite knock it out, which kind of sucks, because I dislike battling Crobats, because usually when I fight them, I have I have some sort of strategy that I want to use, but they always come at me with Hypnosis or Confuse Ray, and they're just really crazily fast. So their Golem goes for Earthquake, and this I was pretty worried about, but it doesn't really matter, because with the defense nature, Entei can take that Earthquake from a Golem like a pro. It's awesome. So anyway, Golem nearly knocked out Entei in one shot. That Crobat is still alive, so that's bad. So Crobat's still alive, Entei's about to die, and Rayquaza's flying around like an idiot, and then screaming at people. So I go for Thunderbolt. The only reason why I went for Thunderbolt is, one, Outrage would select a random target, and since I had just raised my attack, I didn't want to do more damage to myself with my own attack. So, yeah. So Extrasensory misses because our Crobat used Fly, so that sort of sucked. And then I think he must have been expecting me to swap out, so he went for Rollout. It doesn't quite bring me down. And Entei's left at 5, their Crobat is flying, and yeah. And, you might think that their Crobat went for Entei, because he's right about to die, but he actually went for Rayquaza. He must have been expecting a swap. But I didn't really feel there was any need to swap out an Entei that would die like the turn it got sent out, because I have a Life Orb on him. I've got a Life Orb on my Entei to boost that little bit of special attack that he has. So Fly hits Rayquaza, brings it down to just a little bit below half, and this was really, really lucky. Your Extrasensory hits, obviously, it's got 100 accuracy. I get the critical, and, hold on, and Entei dies from the Life Orb and falls over, and check this out. I get the Flinch hacks, critical and flinch. That was really lucky. So now I send out my Lugia. And in case you're wondering, none of these guys have nicknames because I got them all off the GTS. I still think that's one of the stupidest things that Pokemon has ever done. You know how you can't change a nickname if you got it from somebody else? That's just stupid. So anyway, I go for Extrasensory on the Crobat, or Ixbat, if you want to say it in whatever language that is. And then Rayquaza, I was expecting that Crobat to go a little bit faster. Oh, well, wait, I guess not. I think that was another turn. So anyway, go for Thunderbolt, I get hit by Confusion again, and then, look at that, my Lugia just outsped that Crobat. I actually got really lucky, and I got a Speed Nature on my Lugia, so that's really cool. So anyway, Crobat goes down to Extrasensory, and then, he uses Explosion, and, knocks out Rayquaza, obviously, and leaves Lugia at 1 HP. That was awesome, because I was like, oh, great, now I'm screwed. Because Lugia just went down to a friggin' explosion. but I fail to notice that Lugia doesn't fall over on that turn when he calls a golem back, and then I'm able to send out Mewtwo, and I totally forgot that Lugia was alive. It's like, wait a minute, he's still standing there. He's alive! So anyway, out comes Mewtwo, my defensive Mewtwo, and they send out their Gallade and their Glaceon. So, with that, I was really afraid of Ice Shard or Shadow Sneak from one of them, but for some reason he didn't get that with either of them. So, recover with Lugia to bring back my HP. And one thing that was really weird, he didn't even go for Lugia at all. That was sort of weird. He didn't go for him at all. He said he used this turn to set up. So I go for recover. I tend to refrain from getting Roost with them just in case I got like a bug enemy. That way they can't get super effective once I use Roost. So Psychic does nearly half to Gallade, and then for some reason he used Substitute. And then Glaceon uses Hail. So then I know he's setting up for Blizzard. So now I need to bring down that Glaceon. So the Hail is falling, and it hits Lugia and Mewtwo and Gallade. And it makes the turns even more unnecessarily longer, which sucks. So anyway, wait for all this stupid Hail and the Mewtwo's leftovers to get done and over with already. So I can start the tedious progress, or tedious process, there we go, process of selecting my moves. Yet again. I mean, it's not like it. Anyway, so I was expecting Glaceon to live through the Aero Blast. I'm going to throw at him with Lugia. So I went for him again with Aura Sphere, but I get lucky with the high critical hit ratio and my scope lens that I have on Lugia, and I get that critical hit. And he goes down to one hit, so that was nice. Glaceon is dead. No more danger from Blizzard, which is nice. So then I use Aura Sphere on Gallade. Barely does anything. Doesn't even break through his substitute, so that kind of sucked. But here's the thing. He's got a stupid strategy going on. He's got a Lugia and a Mewtwo against him, and he's using a Drain Punch substitute strategy. You're not going to be able to bring back any of your health, like, at all. So, anyway. And the Hail's still falling, making this go way too long. I was barely able to cut this or edit this video enough to where I could put the intro in, just barely. And it wasn't because the intro is long, although it is a little bit lengthy, but I like it the way it is. So anyway, after all the Hail and all the leftovers and stuff like that, the Hail's still falling. We use Aeroblast, and I go for Psychic. So to break his substitute with Aeroblast, and then finally bring him down with that Psychic once we actually start attacking. There, finally. Jeez. Anyway, Aeroblast goes off, super effective, hits, kaboom, substitute took damage for Galaglady, whatever. What is that language? It's probably like German or something, I don't know. Anyway, Gallade goes down to a Psychic, and that's the battle. That could have been, I probably would have lost that if that Golem had brought down Lugia with that explosion. That was incredibly lucky. So anyway, another win for the Ubers, although it is still Ubers, so that's not really a good thing. But anyway, that's the battle. Thanks for watching.